bless you. Thank you. Beautiful creatures. Hello, thank you. Hey up! Welcome back. Out and about with Andy and Colin again. 3 old gits, last of the summer wine, all of that. Hey! Out on the Royal Enfield Classic 650. And we've just come through the little village of Wensley, as in Wensleydale, as in cheese, as in Wallace and Gromit before the stinking bishop. There's a lot of people out there to whom that will mean absolutely nothing. Ooh. Yeah, one thing's for sure, and that's that the popularity of the adventure bike in the United Kingdom is due in no small part to the fact that the roads are shagged. I'd like to be proud of my country. I'd like to be proud of this country. And proud of my county, Yorkshire. It don't matter how far back in time you go, my family name sticks in and around Bingley, of course. And so yeah, I do feel a very, very close affinity to this locality. Pride is a different matter. You know, when people say they're proud of the country, what is it they're proud of? The terrain, the landscape, the history, the culture, the government, the military. What is it? Or maybe it's all of those things to some degree or another. But sometimes I actually feel ashamed of my country, of this country, of what it's become, and specifically how it's become, I would say, in the last 4 decades, about the last 40 years. I was a young man in the 1980s, 21-year-old, fresh-faced police officer in 1983, stepping out in full uniform for the first time onto the streets of Bradford in the city centre. Proud as punch. Got through all the hurdles that I had to jump to become a cop. Family were proud as punch because there's a long line of military, police and fire brigade service in both sides of my family. And of course, having gone through the interview and selection process, the entrance examinations, which were tough back then, not now, back then they were. Gone through all the physicals, gone through 3 weeks of local training, then 10 weeks of regional training, then another 3 weeks of local training, and then there I am Upholding law and good order in good order. Law and good order in my city, Bradford. So yeah, proud as punch. But back then in the late 80s, sorry, the early 80s, I think that's where the seeds of rot were sown. I firmly believe that that's when we parted company with our collective pride. That's when we parted company with our reputation as a manufacturer of quality things, and it all became about financial services, and that shagged us as far as I'm concerned. And what brought that keenly into focus recently, I was watching on one of Itchy Boots' videos and one of Marc Travels' videos. I don't know if you watch Marc Travels. Marcus Engels, I think his name is, and Itchy Boots, Noddly Schoenmaker. So two people there, Noddly Schoenmaker and Marcus Engels, two very, very big YouTube channels. Great, both travelling the world. Marc doing it on an electric motorcycle, but they've both been over here for the Adventure Bike Rider Festival, the ABR Festival. So I think it's the biggest in Europe, if not the world, biggest adventure bike festival. So, and of course, Itchy Boots were over here because a book's just been released in the English language. But I don't know if you've seen those videos. Itchy Boots has travelled right across the globe and through some, shall we say, reputationally questionable countries. You know, countries in Africa and the Middle East and South America and all these places. Hundreds of thousands of kilometres. And she has one unfortunate experience in Iraq. But Iraq being Iraq being a basket case of a failed state, thanks to us and the Americans. I'm sorry, but that is true. She gets a bike stolen. She gets a bike stolen in Iraq. That's the only place that she'd ever had a bike pilfered, having travelled right across the globe and through all of those slightly dodgy countries, or that we perceive here to be slightly dodgy countries. And that's the only place she has any problems until she gets to the United Kingdom. And she gets her lone Tenere 700 stolen, doesn't she? She gets a Tenere 700 stolen in bloody Wales. What an absolute disgrace. You know, and the police response that she got was subpar, typically. I mean, as soon as the local cops were informed that she'd actually found the bike in those bushes, they didn't want to send anybody out. Now, back in my day, that would have been unthinkable. It's still a crime scene. Yeah, it's still a crime scene. There'll be CCTV. It's not the complainant's job. It is not Noddly Schoenmaker's job particularly in a foreign country, it's not her bloody job to go investigating as to whether or not there is CCTV footage of the crime, and therefore potentially the perpetrators and any vehicles they might have used in the commission of that crime, which could have led to them being traced with a bit of basic bog standard coppering. No, not turning up. Now, to my mind, that's shambolic. I know what the argument will be. Police attending serves no useful purpose. Well, I tell you what, it's the job of the police to prevent and detect crime. It's as simple as that. And a crime's being committed, and whether or not the property is being recovered does not alter the fact that a crime's being committed. There is potentially evidence to be secured, and there are the bare bones of an investigation upon which to build. But no, fuck that. Alright, you got your bike back, have you? Alright, fair enough, here's your crime number, see you later. Absolute. And I think it's shameful that we've got to that stage, and where that is the norm and does not come as a surprise to anybody anymore. But it's shambolic. Of course, we can still find time to roll up with 3 police cars, 6 coppers, to go lock up a bloke and his wife because he's been snotty to some local highfalutin bishop who has probably had a word in the shell like of somebody very, very senior in the police, either the chief constable or the police and crimes commissioner. I don't know if you've seen that particular video that's gone viral, but bloody hell. Yeah, we can find 6 cops to rock up there, lock this fella and his missus up, leave the 3 young children without anybody to look after them, and then go and bloody search every bit of electronics in the house, just because the fella's been alleged to have sent an email to a bishop saying to him that you're a disgrace to your job because you haven't done your job properly, and if you don't do your job properly, I'm going to the press. But that's just one example. That's one small example that just happens to have happened to somebody that's got a big YouTube channel and has been able to give it exposure and publicity, and thus it's found a lot of traction and it's gone viral. But it's just one example. There will be thousands of other examples of that sort of absolutely reputationally crippling overkill, because somebody has not done the basic initial fact finding around a complaint. Bloody hell. It's like policing's become formulaic. Somebody in high authority, you know, some quote-unquote respected person, a man of the cloth or whoever, has said this has happened, therefore it must have happened, therefore we'll go find somebody to lock up. Instead of thinking, hang on a minute, is there a bit of bad blood here? Is there a bit of a different agenda being pursued? Are there vested interests at play? Has the complainant got something to hide? No. Let's go wading in 10 at a time, and let's get some folk locked up. But no, some poor visiting lone female motorcyclist gets a bloody bike stolen, manages to recover it through her own hard work and the help of some people nearby, and then it's a case of, no, fuck that, we're not turning up to that. Absolutely scandalous, shameful, and that's what, you know, things like that make me ashamed of this country. Now the other thing, and it harks back to what I was saying about the state of our roads here, which of course is a bugbear of mine and a bugbear of most motorcyclists, I would suggest. But yeah, Marc travels. He goes to the ABR. He gets his earpods nicked, but they have an AirTag on them. So he ends up tracking them down to somewhere, some bloody tired old area somewhere in Birmingham, I think it was. Looked a bit of a shithole to me, but obviously got nowhere with it. But then, you know, gets on his bike and talks about, as Itchy did, how they actually love this country, they love being here, they love the heritage, they love the old buildings, they love the countryside, it's fantastic. But as Marc was saying on his video, bloody hell, the roads are shocking. And he says, he comes to this country and says, it's no wonder that adventure bikes are so popular in the UK, because all the roads are shagged. And when they do repair them, have you seen some of the state of the repairs? You know, they're trying to wax lyrical about the fact that there's so many million or billion pounds being made available for potholes and road repairs. Well, it's clearly not enough, because the repairs are shit. I've seen some of the repairs that have been carried out. It's all patchwork. There's very, very seldom a concerted effort to make a meaningful, long-standing repair over a significant stretch of road. So what you get is a patchwork, and then what you get is bad road, good road, bad road, bit more good road, oh, bad road again. What a carry on. And the repairs, some of the repairs, bloody hell, I could do better with a trowel and a rolling pin, you know, than some of these bloody patches that are put in. Absolute bloody joke in this country. And we have to have a German fella come here and say on a big YouTube channel that our roads are shit, which they are, and that they pale into insignificance compared to the pristine roads in, wait for it, Thailand. Yeah, Thailand. So he's been through Thailand recently, hasn't he, Marc? I'm pointing out there that the roads are absolutely pristine compared with our shambolic road network. I mean, this is good. This is pristine for us. Dear oh dear. Yeah. Thailand. Better than us. And we're supposed to be the 6th biggest economy in the world. 6th biggest. Bollocks. That is not true. We're about 26th. Where that 6 comes from is because of the City of London. The financial centre. The City of London. If it weren't for the City of London, we would be 26th or thereabouts in terms of economic size. Purely the City of London. 1 square mile. 1 bastard square mile of the capital, where all the money is, and all the bloody dodgy money as well, and everywhere else in the country left just to bloody fester and rot. Talk about situationally completely unaware. Really, I know I'm bloody I'm ranting on, but so many people say I love it when you do a rant. So I'm having a rant. I'm having a rant about the state of the country. And whereas that particular view there before she moved over was very, very pleasing on the eye, I'm not so sure I'm even allowed to say that in this day and age. But it was, let me tell you. If she hadn't moved over, I'm not so sure I would have been complaining. But any road up, don't want to get myself into trouble, don't want shadow banning. I might already be shadow banned, actually. I notice when I do videos where I'm basically sounding off and speaking truth to power, that the channel metrics just bloody crash through the floor. And the cynical side of me says it's not a coincidence, but anyway. Dark forces at play, folks. But yeah, that's, you know, that's just a couple of examples of why at times I'm just thoroughly ashamed of what this country's become. It seems you can't have a laugh anymore, you can't have a joke anymore, you know, you can't say anything if it's got the slightest danger of offending somebody. You know, if folk are offended by what I say on this channel, well, you know, tough shit. Unsubscribe, don't watch, go away. Hard lines. There is no such human right as the right not to be offended. Don't get me wrong, there's a world of difference. The deliberate stirring up of hatred needs to be dealt with. But it seems that the line has been drawn far too low. And I'm a bit sick of it. But anyway, what a beautiful part of the world. This is Camgill Road. It's the road basically between Middleham and Kettlewell, albeit that we didn't come from the Middleham end, we came from the Wensley end. Even so, look at this. So anyway, that's my my two penneth for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Keep it civilised. Feel free to disagree, feel free to be critical, welcome that, not a problem. Don't start slagging me off, because there's only going to be one winner if anybody starts doing that. But look at this, fabulous. This I am proud of. This I am proud of. What I'm not proud of is a succession of dickheads who've been running the show. We haven't even got a military anymore. Here's another thing I found out the other day. Do you know that a lot of our fighter aircraft, the Royal Air Force that my dad proudly served in World War II, the Royal Air Force lease fighter jets from an American hedge fund company. Eh? Can you Adam and Eve that? Jesus. What has it come to? Leasing our airborne military deterrent. God, what a joke. Anyway, I'm going to let the scenery play out now before my blood pressure escalates any further. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and please, if you like what I do, please subscribe to the channel. Still, most people that view this channel and most people that come back to view this channel are not subscribed. Why not? It's free, don't cost you a penny, not now, not ever. Click subscribe, all done, and the difference to me is massive, absolutely massive. So please, if you would subscribe, I really would appreciate it. Now this is interesting, isn't it? This is what happens up here from time to time. Now we've got calves here, so got to be very careful. Will they move for us? That's the question. Cows are very, very protective of their calves, so you don't want to be taking liberties up here. you. Beautiful creatures. Hello, thank you. There we go. Right, so yeah, where were I? Oh yeah, please subscribe. Makes a massive difference. And with that, I'll bid you farewell. Wish you safe riding. And until the next time, I'll see you.
Charge me.
Well, he would. They've got the young with them.
I know.
Got to be careful.
I know.
Which one charge you? But it was that white one.
Alright, there's no brown one.
Huh?
Little bastard.
No, it's just protecting its young.
I'm glad he was far away in front of me, otherwise I'd gone into the back of him the way I fucking accelerated. What are you eating?